Welcome back to the Parlay Studios, to the Parlay Fight Club. Now, I know rule number one of the Fight Club is to never talk about the Fight Club, but it's UFC 281 tomorrow, so we're going to talk about the Fight Club with Jelani Goodridge-Reid.
Yes,
I am
sir.
Justin Pooni. Jelani, Madison Square Garden, UFC 281.
Let's
And we
go.
got some bangers on this card. Let's get right into it. Dustin Poirier facing off against Michael Chandler. Two vets in the game.
Yep.
Who do you got winning this fight?
This should be a really good fight. I think Michael Chandler's a nice fighter. I like him, but I'm trying not to let my
Diamond-
bias be
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But Dustin Poirier is one of my favorite fighters out there, so I will take him. I don't think it's gonna be a knockout. I'm actually gonna take him with the points at plus 390 right now. This is gonna be, I think, a similar fight to what we saw with Gaethje and Chandler. It was close at the start. They were feeling each other out, and then obviously we saw Gaethje win that one. I think this one will be similar, where Poirier and Chandler, they start out just trying to figure everything out, but then ultimately I just believe that Poirier will control this one, and I think he's gonna get it done.
I'm
What
going to
about
go
you?
with Diamond Dustin Poirier as well. This one, though, by knockout.
Knockout. Okay.
I just think Poirier is such a controlled striker, and I think that's going to be such a benefit for him that I believe he knocks out Michael Chandler. Now we move over to the co-main event. Zhang Weili is fighting the champ, Carla Esparza. Jelani, Zhang Weili is actually a heavy favorite for
That's
this
right, that's
fight.
right.
Did she secure the belt? Or does the champ get to retain her belt?
I think she gets it. I think Weili gets this one. I'm gonna go with the submission in this one at plus 1100.
Ooh, big odds.
Yeah, man, big odds, but I like it. I think that on one side you're looking at Carla. She's really good when it comes to the wrestling games, the grappling, but at the same time, we know that Weili, she likes to evolve her game, and I think she's adding that piece, the ground game, to her game. So I think, obviously, we know that she's a really good striker, but I think that's going to be the difference in this one, being on the ground, and that she's going to show up in that area. The one thing that caused me, is a cause for concern, I should say, in this one for Carla bettors, is that the striking game is not really there.
Exactly.
Significant strikes per minute, she's at 220, but at the same time, you're looking at the other side, Weili, she's at nearly 6. So I think that's going to be a huge difference.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because that was my biggest argument. Weili has such an advantage in significant strikes, and I think that's why she's going to win this fight, because she can cause damage, and that's why I think she's going to win by knockout and capture the belt. Yes, because just for that, she's such a tactician. She evolves. Her game can change. She can adapt to any type of situation. That's why I believe Weili will win this fight by knockout. Now, we got to go to the main event of the evening.
Yep.
Kind of a trilogy fight between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. But that was back at kickboxing. This is in the UFC.
It's different now.
Israel has made it very clear. That was back at kickboxing. This is my domain, the UFC. Israel's had a lot to say, saying that Pereira doesn't deserve this title match and all of that.
Yep.
We're both big Izzy fans, right? So who do you have in this fight and why? I think we both have the same idea.
I think we know where I'm going with this one. I'm going with Izzy. I do think it's gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a very tough one. But he was actually on First Take the other day, and he spoke about this. I think that the pressure is not on him. I think the pressure is on
I think
Pereira.
the pressure is on him.
I think just because can Pereira double down on what he's previously done?
Knock him out.
He's the only one. Yes, he's the only one that's put him on the ground. But can you do that again? Hey, this is MSG now. This is the big event.
Big
UFC
Apple.
281.
Yeah.
The rappers, the models will be there. Everybody's there.
Yes.
Will you be able to double down on what you've done previously? I don't think so. I like what Adesanya has. I think he's gonna use his IQ. He's one of the highest IQs in the sport, right? He's creative. So obviously you look at the size advantage that Pereira might have and the reach, but when it comes to the IQ, when it comes to the creativity, I think that's gonna be the difference in this one. So that's why I'm going with him by the point, plus 130.
Again, we're on the same wavelength. I'm taking Israel Adesanya by points as well, because in that First Take interview as well, he also talked about how he was talking with George St. Pierre at OVO Fest in Toronto. Now, GSP was such a cerebral fighter. People thought his fights were so boring. Izzy's kind of making that shift from being a knockout artist to a guy who...
And I like that.
Hey,
look, if you're
you
winning,
don't want to get hit. You don't want to get,
then it doesn't matter.
Like Floyd Mayweather said, I don't want to get hit, and you're not going to hit me, and I'm still going to win the fight.
Yeah, no one can hit him.
And I think that's how Israel Adesanya is molding into. I think he's going to be aggressive. Now, Pereira, all he can do is strike, right? Israel Adesanya's got the matchup in wrestling and grappling and all of that side, in my personal opinion. So I think Adesanya can control this fight, keep him at distance, and again, just put combos together, not get
And
hit.
if he controls the fight,
if he controls the
it's
fight,
his. It's
exactly, because he's the champ.
Yeah.
And when you're not, again, when you're the contender or the challenger, excuse me, you're gonna have to do a little bit more to win on points, right? So I think Israel Adesanya controls this fight. It's gonna be a boring fight. I'm sorry, fight fans.
That's why I didn't go with the KO.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boring
fight.
fight.
It's
gonna be another Israel Adesanya boring fight, but he's gonna win. Walk out MSG with his belt.
He is gonna win, man.
And there we go.
Look, a lot of people are talking about him. A lot of people want him to lose this fight, obviously, right? So I think that he's gonna take this one personally.
I can't wait for this fight. Like you said, all the stars are gonna be in the building at MSG. It's gonna be an absolute cracker of a card.
Yep.
We'll be back on Monday, talk some football. For more betting needs, always keep it locked on theparlay.com.